Have you ever found yourself in this situation? You knew exactly what you should do, and yet, in a fleeting moment, your emotions pulled you in another direction. You knew you should stay silent, but you said something that hurt someone. You knew you should be patient, but you gave up halfway. You knew you should stay in control, but your instincts overpowered your reason. In that moment, it wasn't knowledge you lacked. You knew the right thing, but you still didn't do the right thing. And that doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're unworthy of growth. It simply reveals something else you might be missing. Something that forms the foundation of inner strength. Discipline, not pressure, not restriction, but a quiet strength within that keeps your mind from being dragged away, that helps you stay grounded in your values, that keeps your promises to yourself. And it is that inner discipline that holds the real key to your power. Not knowledge, not fleeting inspiration, but the ability to do what's right, again and again, each day. Welcome to the calm within, a place where we don't suppress emotions, but we learn not to let them lead. Because real strength doesn't come from loud reactions, but from the quiet moment when you stop and choose what's right. Today, we'll explore one of the most overlooked forms of strength, the power of inner discipline. Thank you for giving a few minutes of your day to this video. Out of all the content out there, you chose to pause and reflect on something small, but life-changing: discipline over emotion. In today's video, we'll explore 4 parts. If you're ready, let's begin. Part 1. Emotions are natural, but discipline is intentional. Stoics don't deny emotion. They don't pretend to be cold machines. They feel anger, sadness, disappointment, just like anyone else. But they don't let those emotions take the wheel. They don't let one moment of anger dictate their words. They don't let sadness ruin an entire day. They don't let fear decide what's worth holding on to. They let emotions be present, but reason leads the way. Emotions are allowed, but they're not the decision makers. And to live like that, Stoics don't wait for motivation. They don't rely on mood or inspiration. They build a foundation, day by day, little by little. A foundation strong enough to stay standing, even when emotions storm in. They call it inner discipline. No one is born with it. It's trained, repeated, quiet, but deep. Because Stoics understand, emotion is natural, but discipline is a choice. And that choice defines who you are. Part 2. Discipline is freedom, not restriction. When people hear the word discipline, they often think of control, rigidity, or forcing themselves into uncomfortable boxes. But discipline isn't a cage. It's the way you reclaim control of your own life. It means not letting your impulses drive you, not letting the world push you around. Discipline is when you get up early to read, even though your phone is tempting you with 1,000 distractions. You hold back a reaction not because you're weak, but because the argument isn't worth your peace. You keep a promise to yourself, even when no one's watching, applauding, or praising. Each small act may seem insignificant, but in truth, each one is shaping you, training you in a quiet, enduring kind of strength. Not to become perfect, but to become steadfast. Steadfast enough that even when life pushes, you remain centered. Even when no one cheers for you, you stay on the right path. Part 3. 3 steps to train discipline over emotion. Inner discipline doesn't arrive with a sudden burst of energy. It shows up in the small, quiet moments when you could give in, but choose instead to stay grounded. Here are 3 simple steps you can begin today. 1. Ask before you react. Before you speak, text, or respond to something that upsets you, Pause for just a moment and ask yourself, am I being driven by emotion, or am I choosing to act with reason? That one small question has the power to change your entire response. 2. Practice one small habit each day. You don't have to start with something big. Just pick one task you don't want to do but know you should. Like washing the dishes when you're tired, writing a few lines in your journal when your mind just wants to scroll, cleaning your desk, even when no one asked. Each of those small acts is a victory over laziness, over delay, over excuse. And with everyone, you're laying the groundwork for discipline. 3. Acknowledge every time you overcome yourself. Don't ignore the quiet wins. Every time you stay calm, keep a promise to yourself, or resist a fleeting emotion, write it down. It doesn't need to be long. Just one line. Today, I chose what's right, even when emotion didn't want me to. No matter how small, it's still a step closer to the strength you're building inside. Part 4. A visual to carry with you. Picture a wild horse. Powerful, full of life, full of fire. It can break limits, but it can also run wild, stumble, and charge into danger. That's your mind when led by emotion. Anger, fear, desire, worry. All of them are natural, but if you let them steer the reins, they'll drag you without direction. Now imagine, that same power is still there, but it's guided by a calm, steady rider who knows exactly where to go. That rider is you. When emotion is present, but discipline holds the reins. You don't lose your wild spirit. You just learn how to direct it, to go further, deeper, and more peacefully. Emotion is instinct. It comes naturally like wind, like rain. But living by instinct alone doesn't lead to freedom. Discipline does. It's a small thread, but a strong one. The thread that keeps you aligned with who you truly want to be. Not by force, but by choosing again and again to pause, to choose what's right. And then, day by day, you'll realize true strength doesn't come from how forcefully you react. It comes from the moment you pause and choose not to react at all. Because sometimes, silence is the loudest voice of freedom. Thank you for staying until the end of today's video. If you're learning to grow stronger every day, not through hype, but through gentle discipline, walk this path with us at the Calm Within. Tap like and subscribe, because peace is a habit you can build one day at a time.